You have to play well to win, and we didn't play well enough to win today. And that's some on us and a lot on Unlv. You know, they came off a hard 2-game losing streak, got a big win at Utah State and carried that momentum in here. And they built a lead. We weren't particularly great offensively in the first half. We had a lot of open threes that we missed, and then we started pressing our game a little bit. And we didn't let the offense work enough against a good team. And we ended up paying the price for that. Second half, we ran more forced movement, forced offense. We shot 50%. We got it side to side a little bit more. First half, we tried to attack too early in the clock. We got some open looks that we didn't turn down or didn't attack off a closeout, and we paid for that. We fought our way back into the game, but you lose. If you look at statistically, they out-rebounded us. We had one more turnover than they had, and I think they made 11 more free throws. And so when you look at the statistical categories, they beat us in all of them, and that's what happens when you lose a game. You don't have to win all of them, but you have to win at least one of them, and I don't think we won a statistical category for the game.
Questions?
Yeah, creating turnovers wasn't really an issue, especially early in the game. What would you say was the problem with the lack of fast break points off those turnovers?
We had fast breaks, but we didn't finish enough of them. You know, I don't know how many shots at the rim we missed tonight. So that's a credit to UNLV and our inability to finish around the rim enough. You know, we had some balls slip through our hands. We had some layups right at the rim that when you're not playing well, you gotta make to build some momentum. And so you get in there and you miss them, and then you drop your head and you're like, oh, and then you got to go back and play at the other end. So we didn't make enough timely plays. We fought our way back, but we didn't make enough timely plays to have a chance to win the game.
At least by my count, you had a 67-game win streak in quad 3 or below games. That was snapped tonight. That's been one quality of this program, is you don't lose games that you should win, particularly in the bottom half of games you play. How disappointed is it that you know, that ends and how it happened?
Yeah, any game we lose at home, whether it's quad 1 to quad 4, we expect to win in Viejas Arena. And now we've got 2 home losses in the conference, and that's hard to deal with. But we're going to have to deal with it. That's the beauty of it. And like I said, coaches will obsess over it until we take the floor again. The beauty of college basketball, these young guys, they're resilient. You know, so they don't like losing, but they won't sit there and obsess about it like coaches do. So when we get back to practice on Monday, they'll be ready to go. You'll have a smile on their face, and they'll be ready to get back to work. And that's how you have a chance to continue to win. You don't get so down where you get so frustrated you can't play anymore. That won't happen. We'll find a way to get better, and the journey's going to be the journey. You know, we got 3 freshmen and 3 sophomores in the top 10, and sometimes they play like freshmen and sophomores. They don't play like juniors and seniors. So we had to have better performances from more players to get a win tonight. We didn't do that.
What about this game are you going to obsess over until you play again?
Just winning. I mean, just finding ways to be more efficient offensively. You know, just we pressed our games too hard. And we've been working on it. So we haven't made the transition from practice to games. You know, we get too anxious. And that's what young teams do. You know, we don't play beyond the play and get to a second and third side. Sometimes you have to do in order to break a good defense down. And so we have to become better at that.
What were they doing early? I mean, in the Colorado State game, I think 10 of your first 11 baskets were inside. In this game, 9 of your first 10 shots were threes. What were they doing tactically that were?
I mean, they were helping in on ball screens and tagging the roll, and so you kick it out. And I thought the threes we took, the danger is in the first half, when they're wide open and they're created by the offense and you miss them, you can't go in and say, don't take a wide open shot. The ones we talked about we have to do better at is the ones where we kick it out when it's not a clean catch, you know, and then we're still trying to take it off a catch that's not completely clean. Then it's like shot, fake it, or move it. Don't shoot the ones that your feet aren't set and the catch isn't clean. So that's just learning a good shot from an average shot, you know. And the way we got back in the game was he made some threes. You know, when you're down and you make 2 threes on back-to-back possessions, that's 6 quick points off that lead, and you're climbing back into it. So the 3 helped us get back into the game, but we didn't make enough in the first half. We probably shot too many instead of getting to the basket. And unfortunately, when we did get to the basket, we didn't finish enough today. we had the ball slip through our fingers. We missed point-blank layups, shots you got to make to win. And so, we created some opportunities we didn't take advantage of. And UNLV did. They got to the basket. They hit, you just look at the shots, like they shoot that little fall-away mid-range jump shot, not just Didon, but Hicks and a bunch of those guys, and they bounce 2-3 times on the rim and fall in, So at some level, you have to get those to go in. And so they weren't shooting them and just swish. They had soft touches around the basket. They bounced a couple times and went in. And that can be the difference in a basketball game, making a hard shot and missing a hard shot.
Anything else?
On another note, I was looking today, ESPN ran a list of the top 50 players in the country. 7 of them are Mountain West transfers. What does that tell you about this league in terms of type of players it's producing, but the type of players it's lost?
Yeah, we've lost some good players. Obviously, we lost 3 from last year. And Elijah, I think, had 20 points and 10 rebounds for Virginia today. I think Micah Parrish led Ohio State, or didn't lead them, but had 18 in their game against Indiana. And Lamont's been playing good. But I don't begrudge any of them. I'm a huge fan of all of them. They helped us win a lot of games when they were here. But you lose those guys, and you lose a Toppin from New Mexico. And New Mexico's good, but what would they be with Toppin? They might be legitimately a national title contender. They still may be. But you lose a Toppin, and he's playing alongside, I think, Williams from Nevada, who's getting votes. And so, yeah, Tanjay. Yeah, so there's a lot of good players that have left this conference, but there's a lot of good players that have come into it too, that have come in and contributed to the success of a lot of these programs. That's just the nature of college athletics right now. So you can't obsess about it. You wish those well that want to venture out somewhere else and hope they have great experiences, and then you try to find those that you can help develop and aspire to great things in your program.
Just talk about me what a crazy game that was, getting down so early and making an incredible comeback, not quite being able to get over the hump.
Yeah, crazy game. It was just kind of made a push too late. There's a couple plays that we could have made as a team that could have, had us in position, while they're on the ropes, and they made those plays, and you see the outcome now.
I think just some mental lapse in the first half. I think we, especially at the crib, got to do a better job of bringing energy to start the game, whether that be our starting 5 or the first 2, 3, 4 guys off the bench. I think that's gonna be what limits us this year, is just our ability to be mature and get the 50-50 balls and take care of the ball and shoot good shots. And I think us older leaders need to do a better job too, stepping up. I definitely know for a fact there was multiple times in the first half where I let my focus kind of go out from the game. I was either talking to refs or just upset with myself. And, as one of the older guys and leaders, I need to do a better job of that, helping out some of the younger guys in a big moment like that.
Is that just youth? Not being, because you could see just in the body language and the looks on faces that you guys just weren't completely locked in like you normally are early in the game.
I just think we got a little bit discouraged. We got a couple wide open looks in to start the game. I guess I don't really say it's youth, but that's just like, when you get wide open looks and you continue to miss, it can be daunting sometimes. And, I guess you can say a veteran team knows how to push through that, and we're still learning how to do so. So, in situations like that, we got to just keep fighting on the defensive end because, sooner or later the shot's going to fall. But I think we kind of got a little bit tight. Our energy dropped a little bit on defense, and we had a couple mistakes that, came from just, our ability not to hit wide open shots.
What kind of changes do you have to make in your game when you are down by, 10 points? You saw that the game was full of runs. Can you just speak on those kind of changes you have to make as a team?
I think it's not really changes. I think it's just locking in and being San Diego State. That's one of the best things about us as a program. When you're up 10, if we're able to score on the offensive end, your 10-point lead is not really a 10-point lead because we're focused on the defensive end. We're working on getting stops, and we're trying to tire them down until we could go on our run. I think we kind of just went away from our identity today. We weren't able to get those late stops after going and bringing the game to 4, bringing the game to 3, bringing the game to 6. We weren't able to go get the stop on the other end like we normally do, and yeah, that's always super deflating.
Yeah, I mean, just to piggyback off, I think all our losses, came from that same kind of situation Miles talking about, just cutting the lead down and not really getting over that hump. So it's just something, it comes with experience, but we just got to keep fighting and fighting and fighting, and we can't have mental lapses when we get it to 3 and give them a chance to breathe. So just something we got to keep learning. And I know come Monday, we'll come into practice ready to keep working, and that's what I love about this group.
In Colorado State game, I think 10 of your first 11 baskets were all in the paint. And in this game,
First 9.
9 of your
First
10 shots were threes. Was that something that was dictated by the defense, or?
I mean, if you could say they dictated it, but I mean, in the end of the day, I think of those 9 threes, I'm very okay with 7 of them from us. What Unlv does as a team is they pull over on the bottom eye. So when you're able to take the paint and skip past, those are going to be wide open looks as a team. And I think we got a lot of those in the first 10 shots, and we just weren't able to capitalize on it. So I mean, end of the day, there's so much you can nitpick on from this game, but I think, we're still a young team and we're still going to be in these games. I like our grit at the end of the game, even when it's close, battling back. And, yeah, I think we just got to don't be discouraged, like Nick said, with missed shots and be able to still try to get those looks that we're getting, and, they're going to fall eventually.
You guys, the guards have been carrying the scoring burden on this team almost all season. Do you need to get a little bit more from some of your bigs?
I wouldn't say we need to get anything. I mean, you got to give credit to the bigs. The reason why we scoring, I mean, they set screens all game long. Sometimes we miss them on rolls. Like a lot of the scoring that we do comes from them. So I wouldn't say we need more or anything. I think we just need to, like Byrd said, continue to come together and just be San Diego State. We have to buy into just relying more on our defense when things get tight, because at the end of the day, I mean, we're a top 10 defensive team in the country. That's what we do. That's our identity. And whether the shots go in or they don't, we have to stay bought in on that end.
You mentioned I think with 3:30 to go, they had 5 straight possessions where they scored either on the line or inside or on a lob or a jumper. Was that a matter of fatigue? Because that's not normal to you guys.
Not fatigue. I think it's just concentration. They got a great point guard over there in Deaton Thomas, and a lot of attention goes his way. And whether that be us losing our man and them hitting a big wide open 3, which is deflating, or us trying to help in on Deaton and swiping down and him getting to the free throw line, which also hurts. I think it was just concentration. But, yeah, I mean, Deaton went 10 for 10 from the free throw line, which any player who's able to do that is big for a team. So I think we just had to do a better job of guarding without fouling, especially early. I think they were in the bonus with maybe 12 minutes and 30 seconds left in the first half. So that's 12 minutes of them every time they play with force trying to go downhill, which that's what they do as a team. They're trying to drive. That's 12 minutes where they're able to just drive, and if we even put our hands on them and put them to the line, that's easy free points for them to try to get some momentum going.
Nick, you're a student of the game. What do you think this does to your tournament resume? You guys are solid.
I mean, to be honest, I'm not really focused on that. I mean, I don't think we should be focused on that as a team. We got a lot of work to do to just continue to be in the race to win the Mountain West regular season. That was my first goal, not making a tournament or getting a tournament bid. I just wanted to win the regular season. And, I mean, I think we have 3 losses now, and we still got to play a lot of games. So we're right there. Like I said, we just got to get bought into just playing San Diego State basketball, especially on the defensive end when our shots aren't going in. So I'm not really too concerned about our tournament. That'll take care of itself, but we still got a chance to win the championship, so that's my main focus.